What am I thinking? You are now entering the second episode of Wcoti. I'm your host, Maxamillionare. Welcome back! Last time we reviewed a channel that gave the resemblance of a Polish children's TV show. However, every time it tried to teach us something, the devil would open his anus gate and all hell broke loose. Today we're going to be reviewing a channel very similar to that, except British. The channel of discussion today is the one, the only, the mother of fathers. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Everyone who's familiar with the darker side of YouTube knows about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Those of us who have watched it remember exactly where we were and what we were doing when we first watched it. It's basically our 9/11. Every horror fan, every creepy covering YouTuber, multiple news outlets have talked about this masterpiece. It is said that the creation of this channel sent a shockwave so powerful throughout YouTube that it jumbled up Susan's last name. So with that out of my mouth, I think it's time we review this badass. Fasten your seatbelts, huckle down your fuckle frown. Don't try to comfort the person next to you as they are already frightened, and join me in this analysis of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Foreboding, the sense that something bad is going to happen, is the feeling one gets the entire time when watching Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. This suspicion is only confirmed by the time one gets to the end of an episode. The channel was created on November 9th, 2010 by Rebecca Sloan and Joe Pelling. At the time of recording this, it has 2.25 million subscribers and over 235 million views. That's more than 2 high schools! While the channel does have side videos, you could call them, I guess, the series is the main chunk of the channel, and is what we will mainly be focusing on. The show sets itself to look like a legitimate children's program, like something we'd see on PBS Kids. The show's environment atmospherically looks kind in that it has good intentions. The setting most of the time is in their home, which is mostly made of felt and fabric. In the series, we are shown 3 protagonists: Red guy, yellow guy, and duck. Within each episode, inanimate objects throughout the house attempt to teach our 3 heroes basic lessons, such as how to be creative or how to eat healthy. Things you would normally teach a child to. Unfortunately, however, by the end of the episode, a nightmare ensues and you're just as confused as you were when you started the video. Funny enough, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared has a very similar style to KG if you think about it. They both resemble children's shows. Each of their episodes try to educate us about something, until Hades drags it by its nuts and coats it with dread and horror. It's also a very detailed series, where every object you see in every frame has some meaning to it, or is a reference to a previous episode. Of course, with something this unique and indirect, people on the internet are going to make theories about it. It's inevitable. And don't you worry, we will get to those. Just like sex, we gotta experience it for ourselves in order to understand its aura. So get your little virgin eyes ready, and let's boot up episode 1. Such a lovely day today. What could possibly ruin
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
Alright. Talking Blues Clues sketchbooks.
Take a look at my hair. Cool. I use my hair to express myself.
That sounds really boring.
I use my hair to express myself.
Damn, he straight up looked at KSI's hair and said, "Did I fucking stutter?"
Think you're getting the hang of it now. Using your minds to have a good time.
I might paint a picture of a clown.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down.
Whoa, you can't just shit on someone's creation like that. No one came at you for your Tekashi 6ix9ine hair, but yet, it's there, so... Who's the clown now?
Here's another good tip.
Yeah?
Of how to be a creative whiz kid. Go and collect some leaves and sticks and arrange them into your favorite colour.
Blue. Red. Green.
Green is not a creative colour.
Shh, what are you doing? You can't just disregard green like that, you'll anger them. They can hear you, you know. No, I'm overthinking it. Let's just continue.
Come on, guys, let's get creative.
Yeah, guys, let's get creative. Okay, let's go.
Get creative. to never be creative again.
Is it done? Is it clear to come out now? Well, okay. Very interesting first episode to say the least. So, I guess let's just move on to the second one then. Don't Hook Me, I'm Scared 2. Time. For some reason, it's the only episode that has like an extended title, so maybe they were still just trying to find their format or something? I don't know, let's just watch.
Come on, guys, stop mucking around. We only have 5 minutes until our show's on.
That's not enough time!
There's always time for a song.
What? Who is that?
You know, you gotta admire their calmness throughout all of this, because if inanimate objects in my house started singing to me, I would just find my biggest hammer and give myself a lobotomy.
Let's go on a journey through all time, a time that's changing all the time. It's time to go to time.
But we don't really want to. We're going to miss our show.
Who still uses paper guide TV? Didn't know anyone born after World War II still used those.
There's a time and a place for mucking around.
And camping.
I'm friends with my dad.
Okay, just gonna say this now. Keep this crooked-nosed barnacle boy in mind. He's kind of important, but don't worry, we'll get to that, Peter. Don't worry.
If we run out of time, then where does it go?
Is time even real? Does anyone know?
Maybe time's just a construct of human perception, an illusion created by...
Look at your hair grow, isn't it strange? How time makes your appearance change.
Make it stop!
It's out of my hands, I'm only a clock. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be fine. But eventually everyone runs out of time.
I am never growing up. I'm Brady, bro. I'm just gonna stay here, drink water from the Fountain of Youth, and listen to Lost Boy by Ruth B. Fuck that. Alright. Episode 3. Let's see.
Isn't it nice to finally be outside on such a beautiful day?
Yes, and I've packed us a delicious chicken picnic.
Kind of funny how the one closest to the chicken family packed a lunch, don't you think? And it's all raw, too. Well, I mean, I guess it's better than fried horse pussy. Don't look that up.
Huh?
Pesky bee.
Alright, in defense of the duck, that bee did land on the duck's chopped up family, so he kind of flew into that one.
To love each other is to care, to be kind.
And to share. I love my friend, so I give him a hug.
I made this for you because I love you so much.
I love my pet cause he's a crab.
I love this tree and I love this stick and I love this
No,
mug.
that's not how it's done. You must save your love for your special one.
My special one?
Everyone has a special one.
This poor guy can't catch a break. Apparently everyone hates him, he's lonely, and then he comes to find out that his special one is just Stephanie from Lazy Town. But if it was called Crazy Town instead, and Stephanie was a crack addict.
Let me put it another way.
This is the story of Michael, the loneliest boy in town. This is the story of Michael, the ugliest boy in town. Ugly and weak, they called him a freak, so he lived on his own underground. He lived on his own underground. He lived on his own underground.
That Michael story had no significance to the plot whatsoever, except don't be named Michael, otherwise you're ugly, which I have to kind of agree with. There's already so many Michaels out there. Be something different and unique. Like Gerald. Do better, America. Be different.
Oh, there you are. We've been looking for you all afternoon.
We're sorry we upset you, but look, we've brought you the last boiled egg to cheer you up.
I guess it must be because we love you.
For me?
Father!
Pesky bee?
You know, you could have saved all your clay and CGI on your computer and not made that. Episode 4. Let's watch it. Purgatory is just one grey death away.
If only there was a way to learn more about the world.
I don't know what you're staring at that globe for. It's not like it's gonna come to life.
Wow, look!
I'm a computer. I'm a computery guy. Everything made out of buttons and wires. I'd like to show you. Inside my digital life, inside my mind, there is a digital mind.
Oh wow, how amazing and interesting too. But in this digital world, what can we do? What can we do?
Hey, good question. Well, it's up to you. In the digital world, there's over 3 things to do.
Wow, look at pie chart!
Digital style. Do a digital dancing. Hey, this is fun.
Wow, look at bar graph!
Digital style. Do a digital dancing. Hey, this is fun.
Wow, look at line graph!
Digital style. Do a digital dancing. Hey, this is fun.
Wow, look at oblong!
Digital style. Do a digital dancing. Hey, this is fun.
You see, I don't see this product being any bigger than just advertisement. I'm sorry, I just can't see it being run as an actual business. You already rejected his 200K 30% offer. It only does statistical graphs, digital style, and digital dancing. Hey, this is fun. A very limited piece of technology for our time, and for that reason, I'm out. Must be nice. Okay, we move. Episode 5.
Something's different. Something's missing.
You're absolutely right. Your KSI hair is missing. This is the equivalent of bald ski. This must be an alternate universe where Dissimulation hit #1 on the official charts.
Are you hungry? You look to be a bit hungry.
No.
Do. Lots of people get hungry.
That's your body. Hungry comes from your body.
Get off me.
But your body, it must have to be healthy.
I'm sorry, I love the auto-tune on the duck. Listen to that little yeah he does.
Let's get healthy now.
Don't like where this is going. Remember that foreboding word I used earlier that I had to look up? I'm getting that feeling right now. Oh, who am I kidding? It's just his proctologist calling for an appointment. What am I worried about?
Now food comes in through the chimney, mouth, and goes from room to room, greeting the different organs.
Hello.
Now, the good healthy food is very nice and polite to the organs, and so is invited to stay for a party. Yay!
Whoever body this is, they're an absolute G, bro. They swallowed a whole balloon just so their organs can have a good party. That's a hustler, bro.
Everything tastes great, but maybe we should wait before we put it on the plate, or it could be too late.
Great. Now look what you've done. You brought the SoundCloud rapper out of him.
Just trying to make it in the rap game. Yeah, I'm from the hood. Where I come from, you can see someone get shot right on the sidewalk.
Don't entirely know if I should show this part. But you know, I'm gonna, because fuck this website sometimes.
That wasn't onion paste. You shouldn't eat food from a stranger's plate. 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 A stranger's plate.
You know, I'm running out of places to hide behind in my room. I have to start making my way towards the attic.
Oh, somebody's sleepy.
Huh?
But that's silly.
No!
How can you be sleepy if you don't know how to have dreams?
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know how to have dreams. No! No!
Dreams are movies that live in your head.
Stop!
Every night when you sleep in your bed. You can have a dream about riding a horse.
No!
Or you can have a dream about drowning in oil.
No more songs!
Why did that look like an Adult Swim bumper? But if Adult Swim merged with Sesame Street, so then would it be Adult Street? Sesame Swim.
Can you file these files, please? Yeah. Sure. Hey, but wouldn't it be funny if one of these files came alive? You know, I am a file and you put documents in me and a a file. Funny. Silly file. You know, it did it like a song. No. That sounds really boring.
That sound familiar to anyone, huh? That sound familiar? Yeah. Sound kind of boring? Does that sound familiar? Does that sound... Here we go, make way. Freddie Mercury's about to take this bar by storm. She's a killer queen, gunpowder, gelatine, dynamite with a laser beam.
I see a silly face, walking along and smiling at me. I don't see what you mean, cause you're not thinking creatively.
Really not good.
I use my hair to express
It's not very good at all.
You can just tell these guys were never in an MW2 lobby just by how easy they're going with their insults. Boo. You're not that good. It's rather mediocre, mate. 4 out of 10. Rather terrible sounding bloke, that one.
A dream about losing your friends. You can have a dream about burning your friends.
Time is a tool you can put on the wall or wear it on your wrist.
But red is for not go. You can be crushed by a bus.
I know about jail! Music is your favorite thing.
No, I don't like
Oh, Roy, thank goodness you're here. His name's Roy, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. You need to help Bert. He seems to be stuck in a lost episode of Schoolhouse Rock.
I wonder what will happen.
What's your favorite idea?
And so, The vicious cycle repeats. Well, at least I got to be the favorite colors now. That guy's green, though. I don't know if you're allowed to do that, man. Hold on, let me check. Okay, you're good. For now. So now that we've gotten a little spoonful of what these videos have to offer, it's time to talk about the meaning behind all of this. What does all of it mean? Is it about drugs? Is it about media control? Is it about how corrupt the Brazilian government is? Well, we're going to talk about that right now, on this episode of Theories. What the hell is that? Okay, there are a lot of theories for Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. In fact, there are too many, and I wouldn't be able to cover all of them in a reasonably timed video. So, I'm only going to be focusing on the two big ones for this channel, the media theory and the growing up theory. When we go over these, I ask you just to keep the date June 19th, 1955 in mind, as it's important to both of these theories. The media theory has been around practically as long as the series has, but the one channel to really make an in-depth argument about it is MatPat from Film Theorists. So everything I talk about with this theory is entirely credited to him, besides like maybe an article or two I go over, and I'll leave his video in the description. The theory in its entirety is about how kids shows try to convey genuine life lessons, but get corrupted by advertisements and a biased way of thinking. An episode will start off with a lighthearted message, but will end arguably as a show that has alternative financial motives. For example, we see multiple brands scattered throughout episodes, and they are placed in a way that we may not acknowledge them, but our brains will remember them. So let's say one day you were at the store and saw a cereal brand that you recognized from Sesame Street. You'd probably say something like, "Oh hey, I saw this on that one show with the cookie addict." Then there's a pretty good chance that you're gonna buy it. Companies in a capitalistic society knows this happens a lot, and that's why they allow shows to use their products. The media theory believes that when this is done in kids' shows, it isn't conveying the lifelong message the creator had intended, but rather uses the youth for greed. And if it isn't a financial motive, it's a biased one to make kids think a certain way. We are shown multiple times someone trying to think for themselves or question what's being taught before being hushed out.
I might paint a picture of a clown.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down.
Maybe time's just a construct of human perception, an illusion created by... That doesn't make sense.
So earlier I said to keep the date June 19th, 1955 in mind, because it's a rather important date for the series. So now you're probably itching your armpits saying, why is this date so important? Well, on that date, stock markets all across broke all kinds of records. And 1955 was also a very important year when it came to British public television, as it was the birth of the independent television, or ITV. And like the name implies, it is run independently, meaning that its main source of income is through advertisements. It was created after the signing of the Television Act of 1954, which was made due to the ruling of the BBC, a government-funded corporation, over British TV. When ITV was formed, the concept of advertisements on TV in the UK was brand child spanking new. Now MatPat sees this as a bad thing, and he believes that the creators of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared do as well, because TV now went from a source of entertainment that was to communicate with the viewers, to a source of entertainment that was doing it strictly for money. Commercials were now given the same amount of effort put into them as the shows they were interrupting. Now this practice was already common in the US. One moment you could be watching your favorite cartoon, and then the next they're trying to sell you Kellogg's cereal.
Which improved it so much, they decided to improve the cereal too.
Advertisements were now in all kinds of programmings, including children's, so the message that was trying to be pitched to young impressionable kids was being skewed and corrupted by ads. The theory states that Becky and Joe saw a problem with this and felt that it halted the creativity of the show's original creator. Ironically, before the series had even concluded, it had gotten an offer from major companies, but were denied because, as stated by Joe in an interview with The Guardian, we wanted to keep it fairly odd and have the freedom to do exactly what we wanted. We felt, if it's been born out of the internet, let's keep it there. We'll talk about this topic again later in the video, because this was from 4 years ago, and a lot has changed since then. In the eyes of the media theory, Don't Hug Me I'm Scared is an example of what happens when artists put their show on the main stage and let CEOs assault them with ads so they can keep running the show, so they can place more ads. A vicious cycle indeed. Let me ask you guys something. What do birthdays and father figures have in common? They both symbolize growing up. Fathers are figures we look up to as a source of knowledge, independence, and someone who has a grip of the real world based on wisdom and experience, and birthdays are literally a celebration of getting older. So then what do these two have to do with the show about puppets and talking objects? Well, this is where the growing up theory comes into play. This theory was created by a YouTuber named Inside of Mine. So again, any facts and info about this theory that I state, all credit goes to him, and I will leave his video in the description as well. In his theory, he believes that Don't Hug Me I'm Scared is about the red guy refusing to grow up, and just about everything we see in the series is all in the red guy's imagination. So those other two characters, Yellow Guy and Duck, who have grown on all of us, are nothing more than imaginary friends. It is believed that the reason the date June 19th is so important is because it is the red guy's birthday, and he's about to become an adult. A supportive piece of evidence is if we look at another video made by Becky and Joe, called Craig's Big Day, we see a man named Craig trying to figure out what to do for his birthday, which if you look, is on June 19th. And the theme of birthdays is displayed multiple times throughout the series. We see it in episode 2.
There's a time and a place for mucking around.
Episode 4.
You are not invited to the party.
Wait, what?
And episode 5.
And so is invited to stay for a party. Yay!
The date June 19th is also very significant, not only because it's the red guy's birthday, but on that specific day in 1955, it was Father's Day. And if we look back to the second episode, we find out that Roy is Yellow Guy's father. But I just went on a whole speech a minute ago about how fathers are a source of knowledge. So then why throughout the series is Roy, a father, depicted as a bad guy? Well, that's because in the mind of Red Guy, Roy is everything that he doesn't want to be. Everything that Roy does in this series is adult stuff. He has his own food brands, he's the backer of the show itself, he was even caught watching Zev Belringer. Nice cock. And again, he is a father. All these things are stuff that adults normally do. But this isn't who the red guy wants to be. He wants to stay a kid and be lost in his colorful imagination, and not deal with the boring adult world. When becoming an adult, he runs away deeper into his imagination and stops time on his birthday. And throughout the series, Red Guy tries to stay a kid, but adulthood naturally creeps into him, especially when he starts to say things that adults normally would.
But we don't really want to. We're going to miss our show.
In the 4th episode, we see Red Guy's head literally explode. I personally believe this represents Red Guy leaving that world, his imagination, and re-entering the real world. In the 5th episode, we clearly see that Red Guy isn't there, but there are drawings that show he's watching from the outside, symbolizing that although he isn't there anymore, he hasn't fully let go. We get to see his imaginary characters notice the difference.
Something's missing.
Throughout the 5th episode, a phone call interrupts their little Aspic song multiple times before Duck would answer, and at the end we see the Red Guy leaving a telephone booth. This shows Red Guy trying to reach out once again to his childhood. The 6th episode is when we see the jump from the fantasy world to the real world. Specifically, when Red Guy wakes up from a power nap at his desk. We see major setting changes that give us the impression that this is now real life. Nothing is made of felt or plastic anymore, everything's real. Everything is of normal color and not unusually bright. People are wearing normal office clothes, and there's no pen or notepad to sing and teach us about the importance of stocks and day trading. In the 6th episode, we see Red Guy attempting to vibe in the normal world, but everyone's just
really boring.
He tries to do away with the boring by singing the creativity song from the 1st episode on stage, until, unfortunately, being booed off.
Rather terrible sounding bloke, that one.
Roy then appears from a spotlight in the back of the bar. It's most likely a hallucination from Red Guy, as the spotlight is specifically on Roy. Red Guy retracts back into his own mind after the hallucination on stage. We then see a machine showing Yellow Guy being tortured by the Dream song. Red Guy pushes around some buttons and brings old characters from previous episodes back, along with some new characters. This shows Red Guy trying to relive and recreate old memories, but everyone knows that no matter how hard you try, you cannot relive a memory. It's just not the same. That's why the characters are glitchy and are not well. Roy then reaches out to Red Guy and points to the plug connecting to the machine. He is literally telling him to pull the plug. It's time to let go. That's why Red Guy takes his time to do it. He's hesitant. and Roy doesn't stop him. He eventually does it, but in a leap of faith kind of way, I believe, because he says,
I wonder what will happen,
before pulling it. It then shows us the characters in their house, but are now their favorite colors. The notepad opens up, and everything repeats. This represents a cycle for the next generation, where the red guy's generation passed down their beliefs onto this one. It's inevitable that we're gonna have to grow up one day, and you can choose to either die before you get old, or embrace it and go with it. That's why in a lot of Roy's shots throughout the series, it's hard for you to see him unless you look really close. But he's still there, because no matter where you turn to, whether if you see it coming or not, adulthood is always watching, and is impossible to avoid. So now that our brains have been mortified and intrigued with theories and crafts, it's time we give some acknowledgement to the people behind all of the madness. As stated earlier in this video, Don't Hug Me I'm Scared was created by Joe Pelling and Becky Sloan, a former call center employee and a former waitress. The two met at Kingston University in London, where Becky was studying fine arts while Joe was studying animation. After graduating, they along with some friends eventually invested in a studio. Now Joe and Becky had brainstormed the idea for a while of making some kind of show using basic crafts. So being inspired by finger shows such as Finger Bobs and Heartbeat, alongside Becky's experience of working at a kids camp, they were able to formulate the idea of a video revolved around 3 kids show-like characters in a humble crafted abode. That video being Don't Hug Me I'm Scared. Originally, the first episode was just something they did in their free time. It wasn't even something that was going to become a series until it started picking up traction at festivals and online. During the making of the first episode, they were able to get funding from HSBC Bank, until, however, the money fell through because of problems with the staff dog? Whatever the hell that means. Becky and Joe were also nice enough to describe the process of making an episode on an interview with Metro. Could you tell us a bit about the process of making them? How long has each episode taken to produce? It always begins with us having an egg buffet? And then we start to brainstorm ideas and draft out a script. We write with our friend Baker Terry, and between us, we all do the voices of the cartoons so we can start recording the song early on and see if it works. Each episode takes between 3 to 5 months to make, and a lot of felt and organs. Luckily, we work with an amazing production company called Blink Industries and a creative team that put up with the smell of raw meat to make the show. We really couldn't do it without them. Adelia. Bueno carne. The creativity of Becky and Joe doesn't just stop on YouTube. They've shown the world their art style through multiple sources of media. You want to watch your favorite Cartoon Network show without the fear of household items taking over? Too bad! The Amazing World of Gumball episode The Puppets was written by Becky and Joe themselves. In the episode, Darwin stumbles upon old childhood toys when preparing for a garage sale, before promising to never take them off his hand, before eventually the puppets take over and send him into their land. Having no other choice, Gumball must enter the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared world to save Darwin. And the rest of the episode follows precisely like the web series, with singing and dancing in a handcrafted home.
Stop! Yeah, fun all day long. It says so on the clock. So wear a hat, wear no hat. Or wear 2 hats if you prefer. We only have 2 hats, so those are your only option.
Let me just say, they did a very good job making these puppets look genuinely creepy for an actual kids show. Especially this dude right here. Oh my god. But along with giving the Gumballians nightmares, they've also helped artists with filming their music videos. If you're one who enjoys modern alternative / psychedelic rock, then chances are you may have watched visuals made by these two. The music video for Tame Impala's Feels Like We Only Go Backwards, a plasticine trip-fueled visual, was all made by Becky and Joe. B&J. BJ's. But if you thought I was done there, you're the 13th track of Sunshine Kitty by Tav Lowe, because now our 3 Knights are actually getting their own show now. I told you we were going to come back to this. It's unaware when the show is actually going to start, but it's going to be airing on Channel 4 in the UK, and is backed by major corporations, which kind of shoots the whole media theory right in the gonads. It will be run by the original creators and crew though, so I guess it is cool to see that Roy won't actually have any influence. But on a serious note, it is cool that they got the green light to start their own actual show. What? What's going on? Oh fuck. Did I say the G word? What the fuck? Wait. The mask! It's gone! Oh no, that's not good. Fuck. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna rip my bones out and use them as drumsticks. They're gonna send an agent out after me and take me to the league. Fuck, not this again. What? Come on! What is with unknown entities coming from that corner of my room lately?
What's your favorite hobby? Mine is playing with Uranus.
What?
I said I like to play with Uranus. Come on, guys, let's get destructive.
Please, 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 no, 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 please. I don't have a wife and kids, but please, please, no, 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 please.
Get destructive.
Get destructive.
Oh god, it's frozen! Only darkness awaits us! Melt before cereal!
Now let's all agree to never let me make another video again. With all of the nightmares that Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared has left in the minds of the youth, it's safe to say that it's one of the freakiest, yet most intricate and fascinating pieces of media that the internet has to offer to this day. From felt fabric rooms that clench hellish depictions of reality, to unique and detailed theories, Joe Pelling, Becky Sloan, along with the rest of the crew involved in this, did an amazing job with this series, so I just want to congratulate you guys. You guys deserve a pat on the back. I'll leave a link to their channel along with their website in the description below so you guys can go support them in any way. But this is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I'm having a lot of fun with this series. I've definitely had to force myself to step it up, at least for my standards, when it comes to editing, writing a script and everything for these videos. But although it is time consuming, I really am overall enjoying this process, and I really do appreciate everyone who watches. I have more channels that I want to review for this series as well, but please, if you have any recommendations whatsoever for if there's a channel that you want me to review, let me know in the comments below. But until then, this is your favorite sizable Italian. I need to go get a haircut. Have a good day, and peace.